Everybody, please welcome Halle Bailey! Woo!
Ready to know what the people know. Ask them my questions and get some answers. What's a fire and why does it?
Can I skip her bio? Grammy nominated, new mom, Disney's Ariel. We have a real life Disney princess on our stage. Woo! Thank you all.
Oh my gosh. I did not know they were going to play that.
I mean, you are a real girl. I love it.
That is so funny. Hi, everyone.
Halle, welcome home. You were born in Atlanta. This is your
I
home
was.
state.
Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you for being with us.
Thank you. I'm so excited for today.
So, the entertainment industry is an industry that's not known for realness.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pompous circumstances. How do you stay real day in and day out in Hollywood?
Wow. Well, you know, I think it's a journey learning how to really just be true to yourself every single day and to not be scared of it. I think being in this industry, you get caught up sometimes in thinking, I have to be perfect. I have to be prim. Everybody has to look at me and I have to not make any mistakes. And I think what I'm learning in my 23rd year, well, I'm turning 24 in a few days. I think I'm learning that all of those real and authentic things about yourself are what are the most beautiful, and you should embrace them. So I think it's a journey every single day. I feel like I'm still learning a lot about myself when it comes to that.
I love that you use the word journey because it kind of transforms as we evolve.
Yeah.
And you're a new mom
I am, yeah.
to Halo. I think they're going to clap at everything you say. But you're a new mom, and so I'm so curious as to how that has transformed how you show up as real.
Yes, oh my goodness. Whenever I talk about my baby, I get so emotional because, well, I came to Atlanta last night, so I'm here for a day, guys. And I went through this whole thing of, oh my gosh, should I bring him? Because right now I'm at the stage where it's so hard to leave him. Like, I feel like, no, please don't take him away. So his daddy convinced me to leave him with, he's like, it's a day, he'll be okay. And I'm like, it's okay, it's okay. So I'm here, and he is just my world. And I think that now it's given me a greater purpose. I think before joining this industry, I felt like I wanted to be in this industry because of my passion for what I had in music and the feeling that I got when I sang and when I created and when I was a part of a project that inspired me. I would just do it because it made me feel good. And now that he's here, I feel like I'm doing it not only just because I feel good, but because I have a baby who's looking up to me, who's relying on me, and I want him to be proud of me, and I want to set him up so that he can have a beautiful future and be able to live life the way he wants to and be creative and free like I was able to. So I think there's all these new things that's kind of shifting in my world, but he has just made it all greater for me, honestly. I hope that answered. I don't know if I rambled.
No, you did answer it. I want to ask you about The Little Mermaid because I saw a video of you talking about how all those videos that the 5, 6, 7, and 8-year-old little girls were making. Did you guys see those? Yeah, they went around the internet because that role obviously meant a lot to you, but it meant a lot to a lot of people. How did you feel when you saw those videos?
Wow. When I saw those videos, I think I was just incredibly shocked and emotional. I feel like most of the time in my head, I still feel like I'm 5 years old myself. But like with time, you know, you get older and you have to shift and you have to be mature and have to be a strong woman. So honestly, that role for me, it was really healing to the little girl within me who never really thought that, oh my gosh, I can actually be a Disney princess. Like people who look like me, black women, black little girls, we can see ourselves and know that we deserve to be in those spaces. It was healing something within this little girl. So when I saw the beautiful videos on TikTok, I just cried, and I cried for that baby that's inside of me, and I cried seeing them just sing their heart out and feel so loved and that they deserve to be in that space and seen. So it was a really, really beautiful experience, and anytime I meet any of those little girls and boys, I just am just like in awe and so, so grateful.
I think the audition process is so grueling, and you have to have a really great sense of self to make it through that. Do you feel like so far that you have made it out the way you came in?
Oh, wow. Honestly, no. I feel like there's still so much. Like, I feel nervous every time an audition. I feel like I have imposter syndrome a lot of the time, where when you all are clapping, I'm like, this is so nice. Like, really? They're clapping for me? Like, huh? I don't understand. Like, it's still hard to get that through. And I think as young women, we all are like on that journey of, wow, am I doing good enough? Am I striving? Am I being all that I can be? So it is very shocking to me, moments like that. But yeah, the audition process, for example, I was asked to audition. I was very scared. When I first heard, I'm like, huh? No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm too scared. And
We're gonna turn it down.
Well, I wasn't gonna turn it down. I was just like, I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna do my best, and then I'm never gonna hear from them again. It's fine. And like my whole world changed when I went in. I always tell this story. This will be a little ramble moment, but when I went to New York for the first audition. And have you guys seen the movie Fame? So you know how like the energy is like, oh, when you walk in the room, they're like 5, 6, 7, 8. You see a bunch of dancers over here, see a bunch of singers over here. They're all doing their thing. I walked in and I see all these talented, amazing people just killing it. And there was like this long line of these women, and each one was so beautiful. And I'm just looking at them like, wow, like they're gonna kill it. But I didn't know. I thought it was for The Little Mermaid, but I didn't know it ended up being for a completely different, like Broadway play or show. And I was the only one who came in to audition that day, and I didn't know, but I had to really gain the confidence and tell myself, you are worthy, you deserve to be here, you deserve this moment, and just go in there and give it your all. And so once I was able to do that, I felt freer than I've ever felt, and I felt like I gave my best and walked out. And, you know, that's all you can do, because you never know what the outcome of those things will be. So, yeah.
Well, the director, Rob Marshall, said this of your audition. Every time she came in, when she read, she got more confidence. She understood nuance, she understood truth, and she showed all of those wonderful colors that Ariel needs. So are you one of those people that can just walk into a room and have the confidence? Or is it like a fake it till you make it? Is it building blocks?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of all of those things. For me, I'm really good at pretending. And I feel like when I pretend...
You are a good actor.
Thank you. But I feel like when I pretend that I am like so confident and that I feel really, really, really great, I slowly start to convince myself that I deserve it. So when I walk in there and I'm like, you know, you got this. You're strong. You're powerful. Walk in there like you're Rihanna, girl. Then I start to be like, okay, you know what? I do feel good. I can do this.
I saw everybody want to put their paddle up on that, and they just held it down. So the overarching theme of the movie is that Ariel is finding her voice. And I thought that was kind of metaphorical, because I've heard you talk about in interviews learning to speak up for yourself, and it was one of your biggest challenges. Is there a moment that sticks out to you where you really had to assert yourself, when you felt like, oh, this is so difficult?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's been plenty instances in my life where I feel like I want to say something, but I don't quite have the words, and I don't really know if I can get it out. So For example, like I grew up with my beautiful sister, Chloe. She's my older sister. She's a year and a half older than me. And she kind of was always the one to guide us, to hold my hand. She would always be my encouragement and say, Halle, get your ass up. You can do this. You're fine. Stop being shy. Stop being timid. You're talented. You're okay. So she would always be my voice of reason.
I like your impression of
Yeah.
her.
So when I have her, I feel like I can do it. But it was really interesting learning how to feel that way on my own, even going into adulthood without her, sometimes doing some projects where I would have to be by myself. Like Mermaid was the first time I ever was by myself. My sister and I had done projects, music, acting, everything together for so long. So I felt like she was my anchor and she was always going to be there. And if she was there, I would be okay. She was my safety blanket. And me and her, we both talk about this, where we had, when I had to move away, we had severe separation anxiety from each other, because that was the first time in our lives that we were ever separated from one another, because we both were homeschooled. We never got the college experience. We were always in the house together. We were each other's safe places. So I think the first time that I realized I actually had to use my own voice and speak up for myself in moments where she wasn't there was my experience on Mermaid, where you're suddenly thrown into stunts and rehearsals and singing, and sometimes it can get so overwhelming, and if I don't say anything, they'll just, you keep going. They're like, oh, she's strong, she's got this. Like, she's not saying like I need a break or anything. So I think I learned on that journey, I was able to speak up and say, you know what, actually, I need some water, or I need to use the bathroom. And like not be afraid to say those things. And actually, I need a break. Can I please have 5 minutes and go away? And realize that I have those rights. I have that. It's like, of course you can. And they would be like, oh, absolutely. And I was like, really? To myself? So learning when I could do that, I was like, this is a whole new world. And I felt really, really great about it.
I think when one woman speaks up, it makes it easier for every other woman to speak up, so bravo to you.
Thank you.
Glamour actually called Halle a leading voice of her generation, so I feel like you found your voice. You're good on that. But I love that you brought up your sister, because you called her your biggest mentor.
Yeah.
I don't have a sister, but I've never heard somebody call their sister their mentor. That was so beautiful. What did you mean by that?
Wow. Well, I feel like, I wish you guys could have met Chloe today too. But I feel like she thinks she's like my second mom. So
She doesn't realize she's only a year older.
yeah, she does. She's always been that way. Like all of our baby pictures are her and like holding me like I'm a doll or like I'm her treasure or something. So that's always been our dynamic. But yeah, I feel like because of her, is the reason I feel confident and able to be in this industry. I tell her this and everybody all the time. If it wasn't for her leading us this way, I don't know, I might have been a kindergarten teacher or something, I might have not been in this industry at all. So I do feel like she truly has given me the confidence that I needed and belief in myself to be able to be in this space of this industry, for sure.
Isn't she so humble and sweet? We were on a video call. I was like, are you always like this? You're amazing.
Thank you.
What do you think the role of self-acceptance has played in your journey?
Oh, wow. I think self-acceptance is a really, really, really big one that I'm still learning too. Like, one thing that I've been loving to do as I've gone on this new journey of self-love is what I'm trying to grow more for myself, is realizing that just more of the same, you are worthy, you do deserve to be here. And sort of these mantras and daily affirmations are reminders that I need for myself. So especially after having a baby, like I'm 3 months postpartum, so I'm literally, like my hormones are all over the place. I'm crazy one day, nice the next. And what's been really helping me is at night, when I go to bed, I turn on these self-love affirmations. And I don't know if you guys have ever heard about it, but it's basically where it's like, guided meditation where a person's voice is speaking and repeating these beautiful positive mantras to you, like, you deserve love, you are special, you are attractive, like just really lovely things to hear about yourself. And I think I read somewhere that, like, scientifically, if you turn it on for 8 hours while you're sleeping, you can, like, rewire your brain to really start to believe these things about yourself. And I thought that was so special, and it's really, really been helping me, because I wake up and I'm like, I am these things, yeah. So I would say if that's a good tool to, like, try yourself and then see if it makes you feel good too, because it's really been helping me.
Sometimes affirmations can feel funny, but once
Yeah.
you do them, they really work.
Yeah,
Getting some head nods.
they do.
Okay, so last November, you were in front of a new, wider audience, and you wrote Angel. So it was actually the song that started your solo music career, which was cool. And I felt like you could have led with a lot of different songs. You have access to tons of producers and writers. But you decided to write a song about self-love. You could have wrote about romantic love, but you chose self-love. And I mean, it ended up being Grammy nominated, which was pretty amazing. And you wrote, "My flaws don't make me beautiful and real. They cannot compare. All you perfectly are a masterpiece, and all of me, even my scars." Why did you decide to write a song about self-love?
Yeah, wow. Well, I think it was really reflective of the time I was going through. At that moment, I think, oh my gosh, there was the response of my casting. And that was so interesting for me to navigate, because I had seen all of these mixed reviews and some people just being really, really nasty and mean. And I started, when you see one negative thing and then it replays in your head over and over. So I was really writing the song as a love letter to myself, to remind myself that it is okay and that I do deserve this. And and just the timing of what I was going through, because all of the sudden I did have all these eyes and different opinions, and being such a young person where social media really can affect our mood, that was something that I needed to do for myself to really feel like I'm using this experience and putting it into my art and the thing that I love the most, which is music.
When I listened, a part of me felt like you were giving a gift to the younger generation. Did that ring true at all?
Yeah, it did, because once I realized I was saying these words for myself, but then when I saw the videos of, like, the beautiful girls on TikTok and what it means I was writing it for them, It's just this ongoing message that we all needed. So, yeah.
You mentioned your sister, Chloe. I think whether you have a sister or not, sisterhood plays such a huge role in all of our lives. When you're exploring new friendships in the role that you're in now, how do you know who to trust and who's real? Are there any red flags?
That's a really good question. I like to say, I think I have good intuition. So I think I'm good at feeling out a person's energy. And like women, I think that we have a sixth sense. We know when stuff is happening. We feel it in our gut. And sometimes our brain gets in the way and it's like, no, like you're tripping, you're just overreacting. But we can feel what's happening. So I think I just use that to navigate, honestly. And right now, at this point in my life, I've been really grateful to be able to meet other like-minded individuals, like-minded artists that are in the industry. And sometimes that's the best friends to make, the ones who are in a similar field as you, because you can relate to them, they can relate to you, and you can talk about these shared experiences of what it is like being in the spotlight and how is that for you, and how do you deal with it, and you can get tips and tricks and learn from one another. So yeah.
Is there anything you look for in particular in a friend? Like, I love Funny Friends.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
it
Funny is
musical
a
for
great
you?
one. Yeah. Funny. Musical could be cool. I mean, but funny is a really, really good one because, yeah, when you laugh, that's like the best bonding time with someone.
I feel like this question is perfect because you're here at home, where you were born. So I know not everybody can relate to being Grammy nominated, but I think we can all relate to changing paths and growing in and out of friendships, relationships. How do you stay connected to your family, your community, when you're all over, you're filming? How do you stay rooted?
Yeah, well, it's really special because I am from here, and when I first moved from here, because I live in LA now, I moved to LA when I was like 12 years old, and my family came with me. So my parents, my baby brother, were all in LA together. So family life was like everything to us for so long. And then all of the rest of my family, extended family, is in South Carolina, actually. And I don't know if some of y'all have family in South Carolina. Do you? Or from? Yeah, because it's close to here. It's like a 4-hour drive, you know. But that, honestly, is like my grounding place to go. Like going, my grandparents have this house on a lake in South Carolina. And I remember I have vivid memories of when I was a little girl rolling down the hill and like just breathing in the air. And sometimes South Carolina is really slow paced and it's nothing to do, but sometimes it's wonderful to go there and be like, wow, I have nothing to do. This is perfect. So that's like how I stay grounded, I think, is when I go back to what I remember when I was a little girl, what my safe places were. Like my grandpa would take me fishing on that lake and I would catch fish. And like, I would be so happy to just catch fish with my grandpa. And like, so going back to do stuff like that makes me feel like, you know, this is what really matters. Because it's beautiful. The glitz and the glam is fun and it's nice and it's cool and accolades and people being nice. It's great, like, yay. But all of that is fleeting, you know? This industry is very up and down. And one day people like you and one day they don't. And so you can't really base your happiness off of where you are in terms of, you know, that area of life, your accolades and stuff. So what matters to me is moments like that when I'm home and I'm being loved and I'm loving my family and, yeah, just being in the center of what makes me happy, I guess.
I think speaking of likes, we've talked a lot about social media today. You have a lot of people following you, girl. It's a lot of opinions. How do you handle all the attention? Are there safeguards you put into place or self-care things in terms of online and offline?
Yeah, for sure. I have just had to put my phone away or I'll delete my apps. I just won't look at it because, especially as women, we see something, we start going down a rabbit hole, and then we get in our head and we're overthinking all day. Like, no, I have to stop myself before I even get to that level. So I just am like, I don't look at it. I don't look at people's comments, whether they're nice or not, just because I know that I'm so sensitive. And so anything somebody says can sometimes affect your mood or anything. So I just try to stay not looking at it. But those are the safeguards that I've tried to put in place.
Okay, I have probably the hardest question I'm going to ask you all day, but it's a real question.
Okay.
How do you feel about body image and social media? And especially, I think, as women, our bodies transform over time. There's so many transitions.
Yeah.
You're a new mom. How are you feeling?
Yeah, wow. I feel, honestly, right now in this part of my life, I feel the most powerful that I've ever felt in my life as a woman. Because after going through childbirth, I'm like, wait a minute. This is like a whole other world. Like women, we are superheroes. You don't understand. And I didn't understand before. I'm just like, yeah, my mom, she's wonderful. My grandma's wonderful. They're great. But after going through childbirth, I'm like, wait a minute. What we go through, what we put our bodies through, We are miracles, and we should realize that about ourselves, and we should continue to remember, like, we're special beings, and we're meant to be here. So after that, I felt like stronger than I ever have felt in my life. I'm like, I can actually do this. Like, I birthed a baby, a life. And of course I had help, but it's like women, we're special, and we should believe that about ourselves. So, yeah.
That was worth a clap. Thank you for that. I am not a mom yet, and I hear women talk about that all the time after they go through birth. They say, we are superheroes. So kudos to you and anybody else who has done that. How do you think, I know you talked a little bit about how being a mom has changed your purpose. Has it changed your self-identity at all? Like, how do you feel about it with work?
Oh, yeah. With work? Oh, it's hard. Because even today, like, it's so hard to be away from my baby, like, and not feel, like, you hear about the mom guilt where you feel like, oh my gosh, what could I be missing out on? What is he doing right now? Is he good? Like, all of those feelings have come with work. In terms of self, I feel like a very different person. You know, I feel completely different in the most beautiful way, but I think I still have to learn who this new version of myself is, and that's gonna be a journey for me, but it definitely is different. I can't quite explain it, but it's definitely different.
So I'm 33. You said you're turning 24, yeah?
Yes, yeah.
I feel like it's different, even though it's not a generation. I don't know math, but I think we're still like different parts of the world and the internet.
Yeah.
And I have been so confused by how I feel about filters. I told everyone earlier I stopped using them because they made me not like my face.
Really?
Yes. But you said that you love them, and I want to hear all about it.
Well, yeah, I like filters. I'm not even gonna lie, because I'm just being honest. When I don't feel like the picture is up to par and I can smooth myself, or I have a little cut on my knee, I can swim away, I like it. But I also like the fact that we all know that's not like real life. Like, we know that people edit their pictures. We know that when we go on somebody's profile, we're seeing the best version of themselves that they want to portray. Like, that's your right. That's, of course, like, perfectly fine. And that's also perfectly fine that you feel that you don't want to edit yourself, which is really beautiful. And I think that shows a confidence in yourself as a woman and who you are, and you accepting of who you are. But yeah, I also love it. So I think it's both. Yeah.
Well, Aerie taught us that word, beauty autonomy.
Yeah.
And so I love that. I think that's what feminism is about. It's choice, right?
Yes. Yes.
I love the whistle.
Yeah. I know. I wish I could whistle.
I know. Yeah. You know, you could still use the paddles even though Halle Bailey's sitting right here. Okay, if you could go back and give your younger self a piece of advice about confidence, what would you say?
That's a hard question. What would I say? I think I would say to her, it's gonna take work to build up your confidence. It's gonna be a journey of, working on it every single day. It's not one day you're just gonna have full confidence and be like, I'm the greatest person in the world. Like, that's not how it works. It's a never-ending journey, but it's a beautiful one. And I would tell her, you deserve to be here. And just remember that. When you feel self-doubt, when you don't feel confident, just remember, I am meant to be here for a reason. I'm here for a reason. And just recite those things to yourself as a reminder, yeah.
So the reason we are all gathered here today is because we're celebrating Aerie, not airbrushing, not changing photos. And it changed the industry, right? We're celebrating being real. Halle, what makes you real?
Oh, wow, I don't know.
You laughing? Is that a big question?
I don't know, honestly.
Kind of a big question.
What makes you real?
First of all, not fair. Okay, how about I put it this way? What's something that you wish people knew about you that they don't see at first glance?
I think I wish people knew that I am literally just like them. I doubt myself. I go through periods where I don't feel good enough, like we all do. And I think if we just look at each other for being flawed individuals, regular humans, and not kind of glorifying this perception of, wow, she's cool because she's in movies. I see her everywhere. Like that doesn't make me any different than you, and that's what I hope people know about me. I guess if that answers.
It's your humility. Yeah. I think if I've taken one thing from Halle and from the panelists today, it's that the more real you get, the more unreal your life gets. So I just want to say thank you, Halle. Thank you for your realness. I feel like you showed up as your real self.
Thank you.
And on behalf of the Aerie family, myself, and Halle, thank you guys for showing up as your real selves, because you are the ones that made this room so warm and so wonderful. Thank you for your heart, for your honesty, for sharing your time, and we're so grateful to celebrate with you.
Yes. And can everybody give it up for her? She's so amazing. I don't know how you do that.
You are so sweet.